Yeah, g'day YouTubers, Tinker O'Toole again here with another video. Today we're going to do a video on Stihl's RS chain. So this is a brand new chain, never been used. It's 20 inch, so it's 72 drive links RS chain, full chisel. 3/8 full chisel RS chain. And what we're going to do is set it up on the USG grinder, and we're going to follow the specifications under here. So if you follow that, it says 3/8 plus 40 degrees on the top plate angle, minus 15 and positive 15 on the sliding vise, so between the left and the right tooth. And on the C scale, which is a top plate angle, minus 30 and plus 30, so that's okay. Then you go right over to the other side and you'll see RS 60 degrees and RM 75. Well, this would be the file. This is certainly not on the grinder. So this is the grinder. So what we're going to do is set this grinder up, this USG grinder, to those specifications, and we're going to see how good it grinds. So we'll set this up on here to 25 degrees. So we're 25 degrees on here. We're 40 degrees, a little bit difficult to see, but we're 40 degrees on here, which is what is stated on the chart. And on the sliding vise, we're minus 15. Now, minus 15, what that's going to do is, here's the center of the wheel. We're going that way. So the grinding wheel is going to grind on the front of the wheel. It's going to take off the hook, or give it the side plate the right angle. Now, I'll just mark, I'm going to do this very, very slowly. A lot of controversy on Stihl's 10 degrees downward tilt and everything else like that there. So, but this is a USG grinder. Now let's just see whether we can see that. I'll just hold it up. A little bit difficult to see, but well, that's the texture. And I'm going to set it up so we follow the same profile, and we'll have a look at it. So let's just see. There's a close-up of the tooth. And what I will do is I'm going to put a texture mark like this, and we'll compare that after to see what that angle looks like. So we'll set it up and we'll give it a go. I decided just to do it with a black texture. So that's what it looks like now. Hopefully it's going to look the same when we finish. Okay, so we ground two chains up, and we're going to have a look at those in a minute. First of all, I'll just go over what we did again. The Stihl USG grinder has three scales. The A scale, which is at the back here, that tilts the head. So that's the top plate cutting angle. You've got the vise, the sliding vise. That's the B scale. And you've got the C scale, which is for the top plate angle. So they're your three angles. So what we did was prepare two teeth. The first was on the USG chart. We stuck with the recommendations. that was 40 degrees on the top plate cutting angle, the head. The vise was on minus 15 degrees, and it was 30 degrees on the C scale. I accidentally said 25 degrees previously, but yeah, 30 degrees on that scale there. So we ground the tooth, and on the second tooth, we did 40 degrees, so we didn't alter that, but we put the vise scale on 0, and we did exactly the same on the C scale, minus 30. And you can see that there's less hook when you use the minus 15 degrees, which is the same thing as probably 10 degrees downward tilt. But still don't like to talk about that no more. Since the mid-90s, still don't use that word 10 degrees downward tilt. They used to. And I was talking to someone, and they sort of suggested to me, and I don't know whether it's true or not, they sort of said that still don't recommend the 10 degrees downward tilt because it's confusing people. So nowhere in the Stihl USG manual, which is this one here, that's the Stihl USG manual, and you've got 2 charts that come with it. There is no mention of 10 degrees downward tilt. You just don't. You can Google, do a Google search and everything else. You won't find it. But definitely on the vise, a slide-in vise, you've got positive and negative on the vise. And that's exactly the same as 10 degrees downward tilt. This scale on here is in millimeters. It's not in degrees. Whereas on the Oregon type grinders, it's in degrees. So what we'll do, we'll have a look at the 2 cutters that I did, and we'll see whether we can see the hook on there. I still got the texture on there that I put on there. And sometimes when I first started doing the tooth, I put a bit of red texture marker on the inside of the tooth so I could make sure that the grinding wheel was grinding where it was supposed to be grinding. So it's not a bad idea sometimes, because I wanted to take off the minimal amount of metal off the tooth. So we achieved that, and we'll have a look at that next. Okay, so this is the first cutter that we did. And this had the minus 15 degrees on it, so there technically should be less hook on it compared to the next one. So if we slide it up, that's the other one there. You can see the C shape a little bit. Not a huge deal of difference in it. What I sort of see in this one is probably it's a little bit more pointy. Not by a huge amount. What we'll do, we'll just rub the black texture off. And I'll rub the black texture off the other one. And then we'll have a look at the tooth that way. And if we look at this one here, so this one here that we're looking at now, still a bit of hook on that. Got to try and make up my mind which one I think's better. Well, this one that we're looking at the moment had the minus 15 degrees on the vise, and this one here had the 0 degrees on the vise. So technically, this one here that we're seeing at the moment should have more hook on it. Can't really see that there's a lot of difference in it. Very, very difficult. It's certainly, yeah, I don't know. I can't see much difference in that. Not much at all. So a little bit sort of reluctant to call that one. I can only say that the first tooth there had minus 15 degrees on the vice, as quoted in the USG chart. And this one here is at 0. Look, there may be something in it. I can't really pick it that easily. I've done 10 degrees downward tilt with a file. This still looks like it's got hook on it to me. And then let's just have a look at a standard tooth. You see, totally different profile. That is a totally different profile. Even the side plate. Look at the side plate on that. That is different than the grinder, totally different. They are different grinds. I think I might just stick with 60 degree. See, the other thing is, this is the other thing. This is a 40 degree angle, which is about a 50 degree angle on an Oregon. So it's much more aggressive. On the standard chain, there's no way known that that is a 40 degree angle. There's a little tiny tip. If you look closely, if you look very, very closely, there's probably a 40 probably for about a millimetre, about a 40 degree angle, and then the side plate goes fairly straight. So that is a totally different grind. That's why I like Hexa. I think I'll stick with Hexa. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.